Hey guys, so we are jumping right into this look. I'm going to be putting on my headband really quick to get my hair out of my face. These are cute bonbons. And we are going to be using the Sipping Pretty palette by Kylie Cosmetics. The first shade I'm going to be using in this palette is Tequila Tangerine, and it is such a cute color. It's kind of like a peachy orange color. I'm going to be taking that with my JS9 Morphe brush. It's one of my favorites. And I'm just going to be setting that into my crease area, kind of just blending it out and buffing it out. It's going to be my first transition color, so I'm just kind of messily buffing this shade out. And it's a really pretty shade, and it's very, very vibrant. I just like to go in with a little at a time every time, so you'll see me dipping back into the palette little by little, just because I like to kind of build up my colors. I don't like to just slam on a lot of colors because then it's harder to blend the color out. So I do go in little by little, and I'm just going to buff this color out in my crease and just messily do it. It's not something that you guys have to like take serious. I just take it above, almost up to my brow bone. I like that blown out look, but if you don't have to take it that high. I just like it like that. But as you guys can tell, I'm just using windshield wiper motions and just kind of buffing this shade out as much as I can, just to kind of make it nice and vibrant. So all of these next shades that I'm going to be using can show up really pretty. So the next shade that I'm going to be using is going to be Moscow Mule in the palette. And this is a little bit more of a mauve toned shade, which I really like it with this tangerine color that we put on the first for the first color. And you guys, I'm just taking this a little bit lower than I took the other shade, and I'm kind of just buffing it out the same way, kind of messily. This is not going to be like the perfect look, you guys. I just want it to be something cute and something like a go-to every day. When I usually do my makeup on a daily, I kind of just do whatever I feel. So this is what I did for today. Now I'm going to be using the JS6 brush, and I'm going to be using the shade RSVP in the palette. And you guys, that color is so loved. As you guys can tell, I'm hitting pan on it, which I'm so sad about. But I love this shade because I can use it to deepen up colors. I can use it as a transition color. It's just one of my favorite shades to use with all of these colors in this palette. You guys, this palette is very versatile, and that's what I really love about it. As you guys can tell, this palette is so loved, used and abused. It is perfection. So I'm going back into that first JS9 brush that I was using and just buffing that out and kind of going back and forth just to kind of blend the colors together and make sure that everything is blending right. So you'll see me dip into both brushes sometimes and go back and forth, just because I like to kind of blend everything out and make everything kind of cohesive. And I'm just using this shade to deepen up this look, and I go from there. I like to build on my colors, so you guys can tell I kind of just go back and forth a lot with these colors, and I just wanted to show you guys that it's not something like I do really quick. It's kind of something I go back and forth with until I'm happy with how it's coming out, and sometimes I'll just go back at the end and kind of keep building on that. Okay, you guys, so now I'm taking my Morphe M433 brush, and I'm going to use that to go into these last two shades in the palette. And I do not know the names of these shades, you guys. It rubbed off on the back of my palette. So as you guys can tell, my palette is loved and adored, so she is going through it. And I'm just kind of using that to intensify this gosh, I can't talk today. I'm using that to intensify the crease area and just kind of build on that. So I do go back and forth a lot with this color to get it to my liking. So once I've done that, I'm going to be taking a flat shader brush from Bodyography, and I'm just going to spritz it a little bit with my setting spray and then go into that first shade at the top, which is Check ID. And the second shade that I'm going to be using is that Party Animal. As you guys can tell, I hit pan on that as well because it's one of my favorite shades. But Check ID is just as beautiful, which is this first shade that I'm using. So I'm using this to kind of pack it onto my lid. It's not so crumbly like the next shade. The next shade is more of a glitter. So I use that as a topper, but this is beautiful just on its own. As you guys can tell, it's very, very intense. I'm going to do the same to the other eye and kind of spritz my brush really quick and pack that on as well. But as you guys can tell, this is a very, very intense color. It's very beautiful on its own, so you don't need the second shade on top. I just like to do it for obviously dramatic effect, but I really, really love how this looks. So I just go back and forth and kind of do it to my liking and pack it on. As you guys can tell, this does have some fallout, so if you guys don't like fallout, it's not the shade for you. but I'm gonna go back into that brush and go back into those two colors that I used to deepen up my crease, and just go back and forth with it and kind of make everything blend together nicely. This shade is very, like, it has a lot of fallout, so it kind of, if you guys can tell, the glitter's getting a little bit of everywhere. But I was in a rush this day, so it's not like, I mean, if I took my time, I don't think there would have been so much glitter everywhere. And after I'm done with that, I'm going to be taking this flat insert that was in my bronzer, and I'm just using that. You guys can take any flat insert. I'm taking the shade Blackout in the palette, and I'm going to create kind of like a smoked out wing effect. This is the first time, this isn't the first time I tried it, but this is the first time that I tried it and it didn't turn out the way I liked. But I think it's the brush that I was using. I don't recommend this fluffy brush, but I kind of fixed it anyways. As you guys can tell, I was like shocked. I hated the fact that it turned out like that, but since I was already going with it, I figured I could do something with it and just fix it. As you guys can tell, I was like confused, wondering if I should still go on with this look, but I just figured I'd fix it. And as you guys can tell, I got up and left to go get a Q-tip to kind of fix it and clean it up as much as I possibly could. You guys, I wasn't happy with it at first. I kind of regretted doing this, but it was a good mistake because I ended up kind of going back and forth with the look and figuring I'd fix it. So as you guys can tell, I'm kind of going in with different brushes and trying to see what I can do to fix this kind of mistake that I made and make it look better. So I went back and forth with different brushes, and now I'm going in with the NYX liquid liner. So I decided to take a little bit of this liner and do kind of a soft wing on top. I'm not taking it out all the way because I kind of decided to leave that as like a soft smoky wing. It didn't give me the effect that I wanted to, obviously, but it made it kind of like into a cool look. So I just ended up taking the liquid liner and taking it just part way until I met the shadow liner part of it. And as you guys can tell, I'm running out of liquid liner here. I need to go pick up a new one. This is one of my favorite liners. So I get it to where I want it to be, and then I go in with my L'Oreal mascara. This is one of my favorite OG mascaras. I used to use this all the time in middle school. I used to stack like 3 different mascaras together just to get my lashes how I wanted it to be. This was for more of a fuller lash, and then I would go in with my telescope one to kind of separate it. It was just like, I don't know. I used to love stacking on mascara because that's all I used to use. But yeah, this is one of my favorites. It's a nice mascara, but I do use falsies, so I try not to go in with so much. And now I'm going to be taking this Huda Beauty liquid liner. I'm using the pencil part of it. Honestly, like, this didn't have anything in it, but I figured I'd use whatever it had to kind of smudge on the top part of my eye and on the lower lash line a little bit, but it didn't really have much in it. So like I said, I do have a few things that I need to be picking up soon, and I might pick up different stuff just to see if I find new products. So now I'm going to be using this Glassy Touch in Sol. I don't know if it's a primer or a moisturizer, but I use it as a primer. But it's called the Pretty Filter by Touch in Sol. And it is one of my favorites, you guys. This is so moisturizing. I love to use this. I am almost out of this as well. You guys, I'm running out of a lot of things. I haven't purchased makeup in a while. So it's going to be fun when I do have to go and get it. As you guys can tell, I'm just blending that out. And now I'm going to be using the Dream Urban Cover foundation by Maybelline. This is one of my favorites as well. I'm using the color 128 Warm Beige. And honestly, this is very, very dark for me. So later on in the clips, you'll see that I go in with a lot of concealer. The lights make it look really like more harsher than it is. But as you guys can tell, it is kind of dark for my skin tone. And I do know that, but I do have to use some of these colors. As you guys can tell, I'm very, very fair. I'm more fair than when I used to live in Texas. I now live in New York. So it's snowing and I'm inside all the time. There's hardly any sun here. So I've gotten very, very light compared to what I used to be in Texas. Of course, Texas is humid and hot, and I got a lot of sun. But I wanted to use as much of this as I can. I'm going to keep using it and kind of like trying to use up as much as I can. I don't want it to go to waste because it's a very, very nice foundation. I love how light this foundation is. It's very light, but very full coverage. So it kind of shocked me when I first did use this because I didn't think it was going to be as full coverage as it's turning out to be. As you guys can tell, I didn't take so much on the side where I have those breakouts at, which I should have, but I just wanted to use as much as I had poured out on my hand. So I'm kind of just trying to blend it all out. I could have took a little bit more to kind of cover up those spots that I have, but as you guys can tell, that was very full coverage for what I used. And now I'm going to be using the Maybelline Rewind concealer. This is one of my favorite drugstores. In this video, I am using a lot of drugstore. I keep saying ew. I'm going to be using a lot of drugstore just because I kind of wanted to do a look that had more drugstore than so expensive products. And I love the way that it turned out. As you guys can tell, I look very, very ghostly here, but you guys, I promise the lights are like casting so much on me that it looks very ghostly, but it's not like that in person. I can promise you that it looks fine. It blends out fine. My husband would not let me walk out the door if I look like that. But yeah, so I'm going in and just kind of buffing this out and kind of taking it, dragging it a little bit further than I would normally do, just because that foundation was very dark for me. So I'm trying to kind of contrast what that foundation was and kind of blend them together. And at the same time, I'm just using this opportunity to kind of make this foundation a little bit more full coverage than it was, even though it was very full coverage. So now I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder in the shade number 5 Fair Clair. It is one of my favorite setting powders to use from the drugstore as well. And I'm just using that to kind of set my under eyes. And I am baking a little bit. I'm just not baking with so much powder. I learned not to use that much powder. I'm kind of just blending all the powder out as I set it. I do bake, I guess you could say, because I don't wipe it away until after I'm done with my, with my, gosh, I'm losing my words. With my blush. I'm so sorry, you guys. I haven't filmed in so long. So yeah, I'm just setting the rest of my face with this, and then I go in with a bronzer, which is also going to be a drugstore bronzer. One of my favorites is the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. It's an OG. You guys can tell it's loved as well. And I'm just taking this and kind of trying to buff it out. I don't necessarily love the brush that I ended up using for it. I wish I would have used a different brush, but oh well, you guys. I ended up cleaning it up. But this is so bomb, you guys. It smells so wonderful. I freaking love the smell of this bronzer. It makes me feel like I'm at the beach somewhere. So I just take this and kind of go ham with my bronzer, as I always do, you guys. It's something that I cannot have control of. I just love bronzer so much, and I just go ham with it, you guys. I don't want to be like, as you guys can tell, I'm kind of trying to warm my face up because it does look kind of really light, especially after I set my face, but it does all come together at the very end. I promise you that. So now I'm just kind of creating a little chisel moment right there. As you guys can tell, like I said, I try not to go so heavy with the powder. I do set it, but as you guys can tell, it's a very light layer. It's not heavy at all. And I do go in and blend that away at the end after I'm done with my blush. So I kind of create like, you know, kind of like a blockage because I do leave my hands and touch my face and everything, and I don't want to wipe everything away. Now I'm going in with the Milani Luminoso blush in OG as well, you guys. It's one of my favorites from the drugstore. It goes with every look. And I'm just using this with the same bronzer brush and kind of mixing them, blending them two together. I love to do that with my blushes. I kind of try and use the same bronzing brush that I use with my blush and kind of blend them together. See, here I go. I'm wiping away all of that powder. And I know it still looks a little harsh, you guys, but it comes together at the very end. Now I'm going to be using this Morphe highlighter, and it is also one of my favorites, you guys. Let me see what color I use because I don't think I showed the clip where I showed you guys the name of the color. It is the shade Spark, and it is a high impact highlighter illuminator. You guys, this is very high impact, and obviously I have all the lights on me, so it's very high impact. In daylight it doesn't look as bad, but since I have all of these lights surrounding me and kind of reflecting off of the highlight, you guys, it is banging. So now I'm using my Dewy Setting Spray from Anastasia, one of my favorites, very top favorites. And I'm just setting my face with this, and then I go in and kind of fan it away, you guys. I've hit myself in the face before, and it freaking sucks because I've taken a chunk off of my foundation before, but you guys try not to go so close to your face. And I just want to kind of let that set into my skin. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the Kylie Jenner lip liner, and this is the shade Exposed. As you guys can tell, I was kind of thrown off by me wiping my mouth like that. Oh my gosh, you guys can tell I'm in such a rush at this moment because I have to go pick up my youngest daughter from school, and I'm trying to hurry with this video. And you guys, I'm a little bit of everywhere, but I really like this lip liner. It's not the one I would have chosen to use with this precise look, but oh well, I went in with it. I was in a rush, so I just figured go with it and just finish up the look and wrap it up for you guys. Now I'm going to go in with one of my favorite lipsticks, you guys. This is a Gucci lipstick in the shade 310. It is one of my top favorites, you guys. Pricey, but it's beautiful. It's a very, very beautiful lipstick, and it's one of my favorite nudes, and it's very loved, as you guys can tell. It already has that slanted angle on it, which I'm so sad about because I don't want to use it up. It's a very pricey lipstick, but it's one of my top favorite lipsticks. If you guys see it, you guys should purchase it. It's very beautiful. Now I'm going to be going in with this gloss that I got in my Ipsy bag. It's a cute gloss, you guys. I love it. I will try and list everything I use down below, so I will put the names down below of what I used if you guys are interested. But I just figured I'd top it with a gloss. And now I'm just doing my under eyes, you guys. I'm doing the same as I did on the top. I'm kind of just building on those colors and trying to deepen up my lower lash line. I didn't blow out this color as much as I normally would, because like I said, I was in a rush. So I just am going in with a few more shades, and then I go in with a little bit of mascara. As you guys can tell, I'm like rushing to find all my stuff, and I'm kind of starting to feel myself now because I'm like, okay, the look is coming together, girl. You got this. And I'm so mad at myself because I didn't pinch my lashes together. If you guys can tell, my lashes are a little bit separate. So I'm so freaking mad that I left the house like that. But I did find out once I got in the car, I kind of pinched them together, which I was mad about that I didn't do beforehand for this video. But oh well, you guys, I'm not a professional. This is my everyday life, and this is what it is. So there you go, you guys. This is the look. And oh nope, I forgot, I have to go ahead and put a little bit on my inner corner. As you guys can tell, I don't have enough gleam on me at the moment, so I feel like I need to add a little bit more, I guess. But there you go, that is the completed look. And like I said, I'm feeling myself here, you guys. A little moment right there for me. Okay guys, so this is going to be the final complete look for today's Get Cute With Me. I hope that you guys enjoyed this look and enjoyed seeing all the products that I did use today. I know I used mostly drugstore just because I mean, I love drugstore products. I do want to get into more, using a lot more drugstore products on my channel. So if you guys would like that, go ahead and comment down below and let me know. If you guys did like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. What are you guys waiting for? And thank you so much for watching today. I will catch you guys on the next one. If you guys have any idea on what I should do next, I do want to do Valentine's Day videos for you guys. So if you guys would like that, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below, or hit that like button. Whatever you guys like, feel free to do. But thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next one.